Hey guys, Crazy Postman here. Well, today I got an unboxing and first impressions video for you of the Litheli Easy Surge Push Mower. Now, it's also self-propelled. I can't wait to get out there and try it because if you've watched the last few episodes on my channel, you'll know the riding lawnmower has suffered a motor failure and the mowing has gotten a little bit behind, and the robot lawnmowers I have are having a hard time keeping up. So we're going to put this thing right to work. Now, Litheli did send this out to me for free to look at and make videos with for y'all, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go easy on them. So let's go ahead and get this thing unboxed so we can get out in the yard and give this thing a try.
So we're going to go over all the tech specs here on the Amazon listing. Now, when these companies send these products out for review, they normally send the top of the line model out to make the videos with. So you can see this one is the self-propelled model. It's also got the electronic cutting height adjustment. So these are more premium features. You can get cheaper versions of this product. So something I noticed here when I opened up the Amazon listing, so here's the one that I have for review, the Easy Surge 18.5 inch brushless mower with 2 batteries. For some reason, the one that comes with 4 batteries is on sale right now for $2.99. Now, I can't promise the pricing because Amazon pricing kind of changes frequently, but as of now, when I'm recording this, the 4 battery version is $2.99 and the one I'm reviewing is $3.46 and the base model is $189. Now with this base model, you lose quite a few features. You don't have the self-propelled, you don't have the automatic deck height adjustment, and you don't have the charging base. You just have to charge the batteries with a USB-C cable. Now, they claim with the Surge technology, it can go up to 4,100 RPMs. Now, that seems to happen if you push the Surge button, and sometimes it seems to happen if it gets into a heavy area. By ear, it seems like it does throttle up automatically, so there may be some kind of automatic situation running in the background, but you can hit that Surge button and blast up to 4,100 RPMs. Here they're claiming you can cut up to 1/6 of an acre on a single charge. Now it runs for 30 minutes with 2 batteries. Now that is with 2 battery packs under a no load condition. So if you're blasting up into their Easy Surge mode, you're not going to get 30 minutes of runtime. So just keep that in mind. And another thing I read in the book that was kind of interesting, in the dual charger, it charges 1 battery at a time. Down here, it says it takes 60 minutes per battery to charge. So if you deplete both batteries, it's going to take 2 hours to charge them both back up, I think is what it's saying here, 60 minutes per battery. And it only charges 1 at a time. The instruction manual says, and yes, I did read the manual, that it charges 1 battery at a time when you put them in, and it will charge the lowest voltage battery first. And the lawnmower does need 2 batteries to run. So you have to have 2 batteries installed in it to run. You can't just charge 1 and throw 1 battery in it because it needs 40 volts, I guess, to run. We'll show this working out in the real world, but there are 6 levels of height adjustment, and it goes from 1 inch to 3 inches. And this is electronically controlled with the knob on the handle here. Now the other knob on the handle is the adjustable speed for the self-propelled. It can go from 1.3 to 2.9 miles per hour. The handle does easily fold down into a stow mode if you want to put it up out of the way without taking a lot of space, or if you need to throw it in the trunk of your car. The little display panel here is one of the unique aspects of this mower. So you can see your 2
actually kind of loud,
adjustments
but that's cool.
for the height and speed. Now this mower has 2 cutting functions. It either mulches or it bags. There does not seem to be a rear discharge option, so you either mulch or you bag. I'm not sure what they're referring to, which part of this is supposed to be the high-strength manganese steel.
Looking at the bottom of this cutting deck, it is plastic. A lot of what this mower is made out of is plastic. So keep that in mind.
I know the deck was plastic, some kind of molded plastic. It does seem tough, but it's definitely not steel.
And there's the bottom level. We should go outside before we do any further testing, before I break something. I'll meet y'all outside. So we got it out here to load up in the car because I want to show you how easy it is to load in the car. It takes probably 3 seconds to break down and load up, but the reason why we're getting in the car is because I don't have much grass here to give it a challenge, so I'm gonna go somewhere where we can test some thick grass and we can test the battery runtime. All right, let me show you how this thing loads up. So as you can see, it is all extended into normal mode. So to put it into stow mode, what you're gonna wanna do is flip this down. That automatically retracts, kind of springy. And then you gotta pull this little lever here, and that's it. You flip it down into its stow position, and then you can lock this back, just like that. And now you have a nice handle to pick up on when you're loading it in the car. See how I can pick that up pretty easily with one hand? And just load it into the back of the car. I don't have the biggest car. This is a Tesla Model 3, and you can see that it fits nicely. Just don't forget all your accessories. You can see I got my batteries and charger and the grass catcher bin. So we've made it here to the testing grounds, and here's what I'm going to do today to test this mower. So first, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna use mulching mode, and I'm just gonna start here at the front of this yard and see how far I can go until the battery dies. So in this test, we will be testing both the cut quality of the mulching and the length of the battery. And then when the battery goes out, we will recharge the batteries and see how long it takes from running dead until they are completely charged again. Now, this is a hard thing to do for some mowers because sometimes the batteries have to cool down before they even start to charge. So if you're wanting to do some continuous mowing, we're gonna test this in a worst case scenario. So I'm gonna start the time lapse, we're gonna mow until it quits, and then we're gonna put the batteries on the charger and see how long they take to charge from dead. And then we'll go in the backyard and we'll go find some tall stuff and we'll test the bagging also. What we do to start this mower, you hit the power button. You want to set your speed. I'm going to set it to the fastest speed just because I want it to be able to get as far as possible for this test. I'm going to start mowing. I'm going to start cutting on level 3. We're going to leave it in normal mode for this testing so we can get as far as possible. Now to start the blades, you push this button and pull back on the handle, and then these two buttons here on the top just control the self-propelled option. Here we go. So I figured I would pause here and do an update. The battery meter, when it's running, shows I am down to 2 battery bars out of 4. Now when I turned off the mower, it went back up to 3. There is some first impressions that I'm noticing, some negative ones. Now the self-propelled option has what I would call a significant delay on it. When you push the button, it takes it a second or a second and a half before it starts going. And the same when you release the button, it kind of releases slowly too. So if you're doing a lot of turns in your mowings, you can see what I'm doing here is just kind of quick back and forths. So letting go and re-engaging of that self-propelled every time, and there being that delay is kind of annoying. So if I could go back in time, I would just mow a longer back and forth. So I would change directions. You want to mow in long straight lines as possible using this self-propelled. Engaging and disengaging quickly is not really an option. Straight sections is pretty easy, basically effortless. It's turning that gets complicated. See, release, and then look at the tires, they're still kind of locked. You have to kind of wiggle it before they unlock. See, they're kind of locked. I'm dragging them. The axle is still locked. You have to kind of do this. Now the axle is free rolling, so that's kind of an oddity that I've found. We have 2 battery bars. Now I'm going to try to turn. Locked. See, the back wheels are just locked up. Now they're free rolling. That's just weird to me. Down to 1 battery bar on the right side. Oh, the left just went down to 1 as well. I think I can tell the RPMs have went down a little since I've started, maybe. The cut quality does look superb. If you look over there and see what I've already cut, it is very level and evenly cut. The only thing I would really change about this mower is the self-propel. I think it just needs to be polished a little. If it started instantly and disengaged instantly, I would like it much better. I'm just doing this forward and backwards real quick without the self-propelled mode. It is really easy to handle when you're just doing it manually. I feel like even the self-propelled part's a little slower now. I don't think it's as fast as it was at the beginning on a full battery. So you can see here, I am getting the low battery warning. Whoop! I stopped self-propelled and I got a little bit of voltage back. So now it's back to 1 bar, not flashing. So I bet this mower would go longer if you didn't use self-propelled, obviously, but that's not how we're testing it today. So you can see we're back to self-propelled and it's back to the low battery warning. As soon as this battery dies, while they're still hot, I'm going to go put them on the charger and start a timer. And we'll see how long it takes to fully recharge the batteries from hot to ready to go again. It's got to be about done. We're just barely going now. Voltage is getting really low, it seems. And that's it. That's all she wrote. I got a warning symbol over there. Let's go over here in the shade so y'all can see that. So here you can see it now, the battery bar in the bottom, dead, flashing red. We got a red triangle with an exclamation point in it. That's the universal symbol of, uh-oh, something's wrong. So now we're going to take this back to the house and we're going to throw these hot batteries in the charger. Here's how you take the batteries out. Lift that hood up. Again, I wish this would stay up on its own, but you kind of have to hold it up. And then you push this eject button here and the batteries pop up. Looking at this battery, you can hit this button and see that it shows that it's dead. So we'll go put these hot batteries on the charger. Let's see if they will even charge right away. Okay, so you can see I pushed the button on both of them. They are showing both dead. We're going to put them on the charger now, and I'm going to start a timer. I plug them in and the fan started up right away. Okay, so I started the stopwatch here. You can see they are both charging, flashing. There is a fan running. It's not that loud, but it is noticeable. So we'll let these charge and see how long it takes. So here's just looking at the cut quality. Everything is nice and level. I don't see any missed blades. Now the lawn doesn't look very good because it's been kind of dry and hot, but the cut looks very good. You can kind of see the lines. So we were able to go all the way from over there, back and forth, all the way through the yard. We went to the other side of that tree, and then went all the way out to right here. So now you can see everything that was cut. All the way to that pole out there in the yard. It's about where I turned around. Not bad. Well, while I'm waiting on those batteries to charge up, I heard there was a restaurant opening up over here called Wahlburgers, and it has something to do with that actor, Wahlburger. So I'm gonna drive over here and check it out and have me a Wahlburger. This is actually a casino where the Wahlburgers is. Well, that was a strange experience. I got the goods. We're about to go try it out, but man, the restaurant is in the very back of the casino. So you gotta walk past the hundreds of gaming machines to get back to the restaurant. And then when I walked in, it was just like, there was no, maybe I just wasn't expecting the right thing. It's like a sit-down restaurant, like Applebee's or Chili's. There was no like counter where you go order. So it was kind of just weird since I got takeout. So I had to just kind of stand in a corner and wait for a waitress to come from serving a table to walk over to me to take my order. Anyway, weird experience. Just not what I was expecting. By the way, just leaving. 53 minutes. So it took me from 22 to 53 just to get some hamburgers in that place. So we're up to 56 minutes of charge time, and this one over here is showing almost completely or completely full. Maybe this one over here is either starting to charge or about to charge. So it's been 1 hour and 33 minutes. You can see this right battery here is done and in standby mode, and this left battery here looks to be about 50 or 60% charged. One thing to think about with two 20-volt batteries, if you just needed a little bit of charge to finish up something you were doing, you're going to have to wait the full 2 hours for both batteries to get done because you can't just run the mower on one battery. So if you needed to mow just a little bit more, you have to wait for both batteries to charge because it charges one at a time. So you'll at least have to wait more than an hour because it won't start charging the second battery until after an hour when the first one's charged. We're up to an hour and 47 minutes and we're getting close. You can see it appears to be maybe 95%. So while we're waiting the last few minutes for those batteries to finish up, the next thing we're going to test is the bagging. So we're going to have to put this on. When you first get it out of the package, there'll be a metal bar in there, and you just have to put the sides of it around that metal bar, and it helps hold open the front and make it more rigid. So we're going to need to pull out this stopper here. So you just grab onto this and kind of push in with your thumb on the bottom here, and then it just lifts out. And then you have a nice opening into the mower deck. Kind of got a little bit of grass sitting on this thing, so I'm going to try to not knock it off here on the patio. And it hooks on just like that. That was hard to show you with just one hand, but you just hold this up and this bag just hooks on right here at the front. So now we're ready to bag. While we're waiting on this to finish charging, I thought I would show you the front yard just one more time. So the Litheli Easy Surge does a great job at its main function of mowing, that's for sure. In the 2 hours that mower's been charging, I sent out the robots to finish the front yard. They do a pretty good job. It's way over there now, finishing up. I think this might be very close to being finished. Now it's not dim like this side is yet, and we are at 1 hour and 54 minutes, but the fans have shut off in here, so it's probably topping off. As soon as this one goes dim, like this one, I'll stop the timer. So we just crossed over the 2 hour mark. It looks like it's still topping off. We'll let it keep going until it finishes completely. I just had an idea while I was standing here watching this and thinking there's got to be a better way than waiting 2 full hours to be able to go mow again. These batteries have a way to charge through a regular USB cable. So what you could do, you could throw one in the charger and it starts charging, and you can plug the second battery into a USB cable and it can at least start charging that way. And then if that ends up being slower, when the first battery completes, you can put the second battery in and charge up quicker in this charging base. At least it would have been started for a while. So it just finished, 2 hours and 8 minutes. You can see it just went dim just like the other ones. So let's get back to work. Now you know a full charge of hot batteries is going to take you 2 hours and 8 minutes. So I'm going to do the next bit of mowing with y'all strapped to my forehead. We'll see how this goes. So to put the batteries in, pop this open. White part goes to the inside. Push them down, and we're off. All right, so we're going to do this bit a little taller than the front yard because this is a fescue. My dad still likes it mowed kind of short. Me and him kind of fight on that because this kind of grass likes to be taller, but he always wants it a little too short like the front yard. But we'll go up to level 4 and see what a couple swipes on 4 looks like. So we'll set the speed first. We'll go slow and see how that works. I kind of like this speed. Let's see what happens when I turn on the surge. Oh, there you can hear it. It leveled up quite a bit. back down. I'm still there. See it released. The turning with the self-propelled is still a bit awkward for me. I haven't quite got used to the best way to do it yet. There's several different ways we can try. One is just leaving it on and turning real fast, like this. You kind of spin out a little bit in the same spot. That could do a little grass damage. Now, two, you could let go and then turn like this, and then press it again. Lift up on the front wheels and turn it around like that. That's kind of awkward. So we've done most of this part of the backyard. Let's see how much grass is in here. That was pretty evenly spread in there. I would say it's about 75% full. So we still got half a battery. Well, sitting here, it's went up to 3 bars. Let's go over here. And this part's a little bit taller. Let's cut it pretty short and see what happens. We'll go down to level 2. We really hadn't had much use for easy surge mode yet. This grass has been pretty light, but after this bagging test, I'm going to charge the batteries again, and we will go to some ridiculously thick grass way in the back. You push this button and then pull the trigger to start. Much shorter. We're actually cutting something now. I'm going to figure out at some point today when is the right time to let go of this button to get it to turn easily. Nope, see I'm dragging that tire still. Nope, see I'm dragging that tire still. Now see, now it's loose. And I think that's going to bring a conclusion to the bagger test. I think I'm going to use the self-propelled to take it over to the dumpster for me because I'm pooped. Fat guy doesn't walk very often. Let's take a look real quick at everything it just did. Did a very good job. It is a very good lawnmower, I will give it that. And with the bagger on, I don't see much debris at all left behind. So cutting grass, mulching grass, bagging grass, the deck adjustments for the height, that is very good. The self-propelled part of it, good in straight lines, not good if you're turning corners. Turn this thing up to full speed and blast over to the trash can. Yeah, that bag was full. That was holding a lot. We got fully charged batteries again. I finally understand what this gauge is. I couldn't figure out why these were flashing all the time. These are the two batteries. Well, these are the other two batteries that I don't have installed. So that's your battery gauge. If you have all four batteries, it shows you all four batteries on here. So I don't know why that wasn't clear to me what this meant. I think this easy surge down here at the bottom confused me, made me think this section had something to do with the surge, but it doesn't. When you push this button, the surge is this blue light that goes around the outside. These flashing red lights just mean those batteries are dead or not installed. Wow, this thing is cooking now. It's set on 2.9 miles per hour and I'm almost having to jog to keep up with it. So we're gonna go back here and find some thick stuff to get into. We're gonna test out bagging and mulching in thick grass, see how it does. Obviously we'll be testing out the easy surge back here. So you can see how thick this is out here. We'll just come in this area here and we will cut a square of mulching and a square of bagging and see how it does. So we are going to try out the bagging first. We're going to turn down the speed to probably its lowest setting. And we're gonna bump it up to level 6, its highest setting. And we're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna do 4 strips without the surge on, and then we'll do 4 strips with the surge on. Really can't tell much difference in the cut quality between the surge and the regular mode. This stuff probably isn't really thick enough. Let's lower the deck to like level 3 and see if we can give it a little bit more punishment. The bag's already getting pretty full. So we're going to turn off surge, lower it to level 3. Now do the same thing again. Out here in this thick stuff, I think I appreciate the self-propelled a lot more. Okay, here we go. down a little. Okay, that was normal mode. I think the bag is full. So now we're going to turn on the easy surge and do 2 strips. To me, it seems like it's giving it all the power even without the easy surge. I mean, you can obviously hear it throttle up when you turn the easy surge on at the beginning. I think when I got into the thick stuff, it was gonna already use the surge capacity automatically, if that makes sense. Let's try doing mulching now and seeing if there's any difference. All right, here we go. 2 laps with mulching option on without surge. Okay, now 2 laps with the surge mode turned on. And there's what 2 laps with surge mode looks like. So you can't tell any difference on your mowing power once you're in the thick of it. It seems like normal mode is going to use the surge power. So we're just going to keep going here on mulching mode, and we're going to see how long the battery lasts going through this really thick stuff here. So we'll just stay in surge mode here for the rest until the battery dies. And call it. And we're gonna say, ow. And we're gonna say that's the end because, oh, did it turn off? So we're gonna say this is the end because I wanna have enough battery power for it to drive back to the house. But it did pretty good. We got quite a bit done in this really thick situation. So here's what we got done. All over here, all over there, and a little bit over there.
Oh no, 10 minutes it quit.
So now Dad's gonna come in with the big electric Cub Cadet and he's gonna knock down the rest of it. We're big on battery power over here. Well, so we've put this thing through the paces all day, and I guess it's time for me to give you my final opinions. So I'll start by going over the pros of what I like about this push mower. So one of the things that I like about this is this yoke style steering wheel looking handlebar. It's very unique for a push mower, and it has very ergonomic handles to activate the blades and the buttons to push for the self-propelled. I really like this, that there's 2 on each side. You only have to keep one of them pressed down. I also really like that it displays the battery here on this panel, so you know when you're about to run out of battery. Most other battery-powered push mowers, you have to open the little lid and look how many lights are left on the battery. Here it displays that information here on the panel.
Unfortunately, my microphone quit working and I didn't know it, so I just have the backup audio from the camera and it's pretty bad, so I'm going to do some voiceovers during this last section here. What I'm saying here is I really appreciate the auto height adjustment from the control panel. Some mowers have the single handle that will lift up all the wheels at once. And some of the more cheaper mowers, you have to go around to each wheel and lift it up individually. So it's really nice that it has that one knob on the wheel that controls everything. You just have to turn it. The other pro of this mower is its base function as a mower. It does really well. It cuts very smooth. It seems to have plenty of power to get through what you need to do, and the bagger sucks up all the grass into the bag very well. So I really only have one con when it comes to this mower, and that is the self-propelled function operates kind of oddly. There is a definite lag time when you push the button to when the mower starts to go. And that can get kind of frustrating, especially when you're trying to go and stop quite a bit, because there is also a lag on the stop when you let go. It kind of rolls into the power instead of instant. So if it would activate and deactivate instantly, I would like the self-propelled function much more, but since it has that weird lag, I don't really like it very much.
There's also that weird situation where when you stop using the self-propelled, the disconnect from motor mechanism that they use is kind of clunky. Sometimes it won't disconnect from the motor, and so you're trying to back up and it's just dragging the rear wheels. Or you go to turn and it's still locked up. So whatever mechanism they use, clutch, disconnect, whatever's going on in there, I don't know how it works. It needs to be refined a little bit. And that's really my only con with the mower. I love the electric height adjustment. I love the knob for the speed adjustment. I really like the handlebar design here with the buttons on both sides and the flap on the bottom. Now the overclocking power ability this has, they call it Easy Surge. I'm not sure how useful that is because when you're in thick grass, I think it's already giving it all the beans anyway. So pushing the surge button, I couldn't tell it gave me any more. Now when it's just sitting idle and you hit the button, you definitely can hear it give it some more RPMs. So I don't know how useful that button is. I feel like it's already automatically going into surge mode when it gets into deep grass. Oh, I just thought of a second con. That the battery charger only charges one battery at a time. I think that's pretty disappointing. I wish that it would charge both batteries simultaneously. I don't know why they chose to do it one at a time. Probably a way to save costs because there's less complicated electronics involved because you don't have to match voltages and all that stuff. So I wished it would charge both at the same time, even if that slowed it down a bit. Having to wait more than an hour to finish up a 5-minute job would be very frustrating. My final thoughts on if you should go out and get this.
It really just depends on how bad you want that self-propelled option and the cool handlebar with the control panel on it with the speed and the height adjustments. All this stuff is really neat, but it adds to the weight. It adds to the complexity of the mower and the cost. What I would do if it was me, I like this mower. I think it mows good, it bags well, it has good power. I would go out and get the base model of this one. I don't need all the fancy self-propelled options and the height adjustment options. I would get the cheaper model and go ahead and get a good push mower without the extra self-propelled and height adjustment options that this one has on it. But that's just me. If you want the self-propelled, you need that self-propelled, especially if you have a big open yard. You're going to want to use that self-propelled to get you through the day. So that's going to be it for our unboxing and first usage and first impressions of the Litheli Easy Surge brushless, self-propelled, automatic deck height. There's a lot of features in this mower. Of course, I'll leave a link in the description to this one, and I'll leave a link in the description to their more basic model if you want to check that out too, if you're not into all the self-propelled and the automatic stuff. If you just want the basic model, I think it's great. So I'll leave a link to both of them in the description. Thanks for watching this episode, and I will see y'all in the next one. As soon as I come out here and start recording, these big trucks start going by. The heck? Every freaking time. Live by the highway, they said. Oh my gosh. 4 of them in a row. Nice. I'll be so glad when those things are forced to be quiet.